jolly good.
Hello, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Clayton Zoka. Welcome to another My Thoughts On. Today I'm going to be quickly talking about a film called Cashback. And for those who don't know what Cashback is originally a 2004 Oscar-nominated British short, written and directed by Sean Willis. Simply, it's about a man, or in this case, Oliver Wood from Harry Potter. That's not the actual character's name. His name is Ben. He works at Sainsbury's doing night shift, and since he is a man, he fantasizes, or I guess thinks about the human body, or in this case, a woman's body. He has the ability to stop time. He then draws a woman's body fully naked while in Sainsbury's, and then to turn time back on, he just cracks his fingers. The short film may not be anything surprising, and I can see why people might get a little confused by it. Not only do I think it's a really funny and really poignant short, but I think it has meaning, and I think it's handled rather beautifully, yet weirdly. There's something quite poetic and quite beautiful about the theme of appreciating, art, the beauty of someone as art. And if you haven't watched the short film, I do recommend you watch it. I think it's on Vimeo. You can go there and watch it. So this is the feature film that came out 2 years ago, and this has pretty much the same cast. Sean Willis is back directing it. And I wouldn't call this like a remake or a sequel. This is basically the short film, but stretched out to almost 2 hours. And just like the short film, it has a similar plot. However, it's about Ben, who recently has just broke up with his girlfriend, and just like that, he actually finds a job at, as you probably guessed, Sainsbury's, and he can't sleep. He can't sleep without finding a girl, and he feels rather mundane and miserable. And he does the whole stopping time and just doing what he loves best, drawing, which we do see in the beginning of the film, where he draws a man, but he wants to draw the human body of a lady, which makes sense. It's more poetic and arty, if you can call it that. So he works at Sainsbury's, and he works with this woman named Sharon, who's played by Emilia Fox. They both get along well, fine, until Ben discovers something so beautiful about her, unlike any other girl. I'm just going to leave it there. I was a little nervous about watching this film, because sometimes when it comes to films based on shorts, they don't always quite work out. The Nut Job, which is based on a short film called Surly Squirrel, which is what the main character in the first Nut Job and the second Nut Job is called. In that case, the short film is better than the first film and I guess the sequel. Well, if you want to know what I think of the Nut Job, the first film I don't like. The second film slightly better, but I still don't like. Yeah. And then you got 9, the one about the steampunk dolls against these machines. That's the Shane Acker short film, and the 2009 feature animated film. That's the same thing, really, but unlike the Nut Job, the film's actually good. It's actually good. I prefer the short film to that. With Cashback, I can't actually decide whether the film is better or if the short film is still the best. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love the short film. I think it's a very unique short film. But with this one, it actually goes not exactly deeper, but it goes more and more into what Ben really wants. And obviously, it's a girl, and also to admire the art of a human body of a lady. That's it, really. But it goes more complex and deeper than you think. You see, he's able to stop time, but he also believes that he can bring his loved one when time freezes, so he can show the person the beauty of art and time. Hence why when you look at the clock, time goes slower, and which is why you see Sharon with a watch that has like sticky tape over it. The first half of the first part of the film is just Ben trying to get through his breakthrough. Then after that is pretty much the short film, and he's played out slightly differently. And then we see him going to a football match with his boss Jenkins, who's played by Stuart Goodwin. And then they go to his party also because it's his birthday, and this is the chance for him to find a girl. And the plot execution is decent. It's unique and different. I'll give it that. There is some good comedy in the film. There's even like relatable moments where, if you're a person who works at a shop and if you work with these similar sorts of people, you've met at least the one who's always lovely and nice, and the two who's always like mucking around and like being inappropriate, and the boss who's always like think he's so good and all that, and yet he's very strict. We've all, I'm going to say that at least a few people are going to relate to this main character's struggles. I personally do, and not because of I work with employees who are not well behaved, or an employer who's just a strict boss. This film does kind of connect with me a little bit, and I do kind of relate to Ben when it comes to finding the human body, the human form of a lady, and appreciating it. I never expected this film to actually grasp and connect with me in that way. And by the way, this film's rated 18, so you're going to see a lot of juicies. A lot of private parts, I should say. I'm sure it's going to make the boys happy. Visually, the film is very well shot. It does capture the very mundane look of England, and I don't know what it is with me, but supermarkets genuinely look nice. And with Sainsbury's, I mean, I've been to Sainsbury's many, many times, and for those who don't know, Sainsbury's is a supermarket here in the UK that's like Tesco's, Asda, Morrison's, Aldi, Lidl. It's a supermarket where you buy stuff, food, clothes, shampoo bottles, champagne bottles, sweets, drinks, you name it. It looks very gorgeous. And even though Sainsbury's is just a rather average looking supermarket, the short film does make it look rather rather pretty. And I know it sounds weird, but again, I find supermarkets to be very fascinating to look at. It's very well shot, like I said, and the scenes where Ben freezes time looks impressive. I mean, they have to make like mannequins out of the actors, because we see him like lifting Jenkins and the other characters up. I can tell for a fact that the actors didn't just stand there frozen, because if they did, they would move ever so slightly, and it wouldn't even look like that they froze. It just looks like they're playing like musical chairs or something like that, or that game where you when the music stops you have to freeze. It looks like they just made like very detailed mannequins out of the actors, which must have been a lot of fun for them. And the cinematography is very nice. It's a very standard looking British film, but nice in that way. When it comes to the scenes where we see Ben drawing, it's very, very beautiful. The football scene is genuinely my favourite scene in the entire film. It's really, really funny. And the acting is really good. Ben is played by Sean Biggerstaff, or Biggerstaff. You'll know him from Harry Potter as Oliver Wood. He's in this. He's really good as playing as the very quiet yet unique, and I guess kind of naive Ben. I relate to him a lot. I think he's a very amusing character. He simply just wants to find a girl who he can appreciate not only for her personality and interests, but for her looks. Amelia Fox plays as Sharon, who works at Sainsbury's, and she's the very nice lady compared to everyone else. You've also got Barry, and I'm going to forget the other guy's name. Matt. They're both the troublemaking employees at Sainsbury's, and they're both incredibly funny. Like I said, we would have met, or at least know a few people who act like these guys. The humour genuinely is very, very funny in that British kind of way. You've also got, I'm going to forget in a minute. You've got Ben's ex, who's more like a key character in the film, where he cannot stop thinking about his breakup with her until something obviously interesting happens. His boss is Jenkins. Is really funny. In the short film, he was okay. He just acted like the very strict boss who just wanted to get everyone to work and stop mucking around, and he's kind of he's a ladies' man. He likes to talk to ladies. Here, he's actually quite funny, especially with the football scene. He's really into it, and the actor Stuart Goodwin, he's really good. I thought he was excellent in the film. Ben's friend Sean Higgins is the typical friend who knows all about women, strippers, and sex. He acts more like the comic relief than anything, really. And I don't know if this is Ben's ex, Susie. Like I said, a key character. She does appear in the film in the beginning and the end, and it does play a big part in Ben's journey, I suppose. I'm trying to think what else. And the directing's good. The music is really beautiful. You'll recognise pieces of like classical music that's very well established, and it's actually really fitting in a film like this. What can I say? I can't say if I like this more or less than the short film, but it's a great art house, meaningful film. Cashback is probably the best example of a film based on a short film that's just as equally as fresh, original, and just interesting as said short film. The story tells something that we all know about a romance story, in a way, I suppose. It tells it in a very unique, different, and poignant way. It's very well shot. It's got some very impressive, I guess, practical effects to it. The acting's really good. A lot of the characters are funny. The main character is relatable. The directing's very good. The music's fitting. It's a really good film. I can comfortably say this is underrated, because I don't see that many people talk about this film. I'd argue if people know what Cashback is until they see this film. And when they watch it, they'll be like, they won't even know it's based on I guess it was a short film first, and then it was extended into a feature film. If you've seen the short film, check it out. If you haven't seen the short film, if you want to watch this, I recommend you watch the short film first, so you have an idea what Sean Willis is trying to make, and then watch the film. The film actually goes a little bit deeper, and I'm not just saying that because it's a feature film, but there is more to it. With short films, you can only deliver what you can, and with feature films, you can do whatever you want as long as it's well written, poignant, and gets to the point. 10 out of 10. No complaints at all, really. It's got 54 on Metacritic. It's a bit unfair, really. I think this film is extremely good. Do give it a watch. Absolutely. So yeah, Cashback. I wanted to talk about this film for a very long time because it was a film. I mean, the short film I love, and I was like, I didn't know they made a feature film, and you'd be surprised when I say this that the feature film was actually hard to find. I actually downloaded a crappy quality version of it. You can find it online on like 123 Movies. You can buy it on DVD, but it's actually rare to find. I think the closest you can find is Amazon, possibly charity shops. Yeah, that's it. You can't even find them in Tesco's or anywhere. Or in Sainsbury's, if they sold this in Sainsbury's, if they sold the film in Sainsbury's, that'd be amazing. So I might buy it on DVD. I mean, obviously not now because I've already watched it, so I've got to let my thoughts sink in. And if I like it more and more and more, I might consider it. If not, I'm not bothered. So if you have seen Cashback, both the short film and or the feature film, what do you think about it? Is it good, bad, decent? Do you want to see it? Let me know below. And as always, thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe. Until next time,